Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I'm answering a question that comes in, which is, how do you feel about GoDaddy website builder websites? Can you make those rank? Are those okay for SEO? What about Wix websites? Any type of site like that, where it's you're using like a page building tool or a proprietary tool to build a site. Yeah, absolutely, you can make those rank, depending on what the level of competition is and depending on what else is out there. Here's what usually happens in reality. Because I see this with a lot of industrial sites, like perhaps like a machine shop or a manufacturing shop or some type of shop like that in a local area, and they're trying to rank against other shops like that. Most of the time, the competing websites that you're trying to go up against in your region are also not that awesome, because websites built on GoDaddy Builder are often pretty basic looking. They all kind of have this kind of dated look to them, and most of the time these sites are maybe like 5 or 6 pages. I don't think I've ever seen like a really extensive site architecture on a GoDaddy site, or most Wix sites. I haven't really seen that. They're good for very basic sites, and even some of the more basic Squarespace sites. Those Squarespace sites tend to look a lot better, but they're very limited in what they can do out of the box, which is a reason why I don't like them. Most often what happens is, if you have a basic site like that, or if some of the other sites that you're trying to rank against are basic WordPress sites, and maybe they're built with something like a theme forest theme, the instant that a site comes along and has a proportionally larger amount of content, better design, something that's custom designed, perhaps in WordPress or Drupal or Joomla or Craft CMS, something that offers more flexibility with the design and the layout of the site, something where people can get creative and actually, have control over how the site looks. And once you have a site with a little bit of content and that looks a lot better than the competition, and it gets a few links from other sites, after a few months, that custom built site, that site that looks better than the rest, that has a little bit better content than the rest of the sites out there that you're trying to rank against, it's going to win. And I've seen this happen time and time again. Those sites are going to rise to the top over time, and those GoDaddy builder sites, or the basic WordPress sites that are just kind of, perhaps somebody within the organization built it and, did it themselves, but it doesn't stand out, and, perhaps it's, could have more content, more links, and it could have a lot better design. Those sites start to go down in rankings. That's what happens. Because Google is looking at the full picture. They want to see a site that is going to give people information, it's going to make people happy, that has an adequate amount of links from other sites coming in, and has a distinct link profile, has a good reputation, of course, reviews, good reviews, all those sorts of things, that's in the local area. Those types of sites are going to win over time. Sites that have poor design, inadequate content, inadequate links, any of those things, or like a lot of poor reviews, they're not going to do so good over the long haul. So the instant a website comes around that is distinct from the rest of the websites in that field or that category, it's going to destroy the rest of the competition. That's what happens. Now, there's a lot of other industries out there where the competition is a lot fiercer. So something like general contracting, HVAC, even roofing companies. I've seen there's like a lot more stiffer competition. But in the categories where the websites were put together maybe by somebody who's an employee, or the site or the person who owns the business, or they just got like somebody's nephew to do it, the boss's nephew, it's easy to beat these ones. If you put in a little effort, if you put in a few months of effort, you can totally beat these. So that's what I think about GoDaddy website builder sites, to a lesser degree Wix websites, even Squarespace sites, which look better than both of those most of the time. Unless you're putting in some extra effort, those can be beat. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO, and I'm here every single day giving SEO tips, answering questions. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below. I'll answer. That's it for now. Until next time. Peace.